This video will be episode 11 of the Black Lion Origins campaign. Last episode, we joined up with the Sturgeons as a mercenary and helped to capture the castle of Neviansk. And we hunted bandits in the region of Neviansk castle, and then as we were headed up to Britannia, we came across a Vlandian army, and we tracked that army to Neviansk castle, where they're going to attempt to retake it. Certainly, they're much stronger than any Sturgeon army in the area, so I'm not going to be bothered with it for now. And instead, we're going to fight these looters and see if we can't level up our athletic skill more. It seems like such a grindy thing to do, and it is. It's very grindy, leveling your athletic skill, but it's probably one of the very best athletic skills or one of the very best skills you can level. Our horse got caught a rock, but we're gonna see if we can't just tough it out. Nah, let's just retreat. It's the smart thing to do. There's too many of them, and if they caught me, which they were bound to do, then and even if they didn't catch me, once I ran out of arrows, I was gonna have a really tough time trying to kill them with that lance. But I was saying about your athletic skill is probably the very best skill to have maxed out in the game. You'll not only increase your movement speed on foot, passive, like that's the base stat that you're gonna get, but you're also going to once you reach 275, for every skill level past 50, you're going to give yourself an extra hit point. So once you've reached 330, which is the max, you've got an extra 80 health there, and that is massive. So your game changes a lot once you achieve that benchmark. So it has to be struggled for. Not to mention the fact that you're unlocking extra stats or attribute points along the way. You get an extra endurance and an extra vigor and control once you've respec once. So has to be done. Can't do without it. And you feel like you could do without it because, frankly, I don't do a whole lot of fighting on foot. But yeah, it's just, if you're gonna make the best character possible, you're gonna have to have it. In my book, as far as I'm concerned. And maybe there's a lot of people that enjoy their game just as well as I do without it. I wouldn't doubt that a bit. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice there's different ways to enjoy your game. So I want to head up to the Battanian lands. Ooh, look at all these lovely archers. I think we caught more than caught more than one of those warbands. So we've got 14 of them. I'm gonna have my troops retreat. But it looks like they're taking an odd path, so they're actually going to serve as distraction and or die on their way out of the map, which is not great, but might be okay. But I want to be getting all of this EXP. It's some juicy EXP, and we certainly need it. Ooh. made a level. And that's why we're doing this, so we can make those levels. And frankly, you know, we still got a lot of riding skill and polearm skill to be racked up still. So, not as though we don't get anything out of killing archers. Nice. Got our bow skill focus points maxed out, which is really good because at 175 there is a perk in bow skill that makes it so that you take 10% less damage from ranged attacks, and your troops that you're serving as captain over, or the troops that are serving under you, they also receive 10% less range damage. So that is massive. Like, even if you don't plan on using a bow, and I don't, past leveling my athletic skill, at least to a certain point, you still got to get that perk. In my book, it's one of those must-haves. Now, with 5 focus points in bow skill, I'm going to be able to get much more than 175. But that's because, like, the skills up to 225 are pretty worth having too. So we made it over to Pencanic. We're doing our trading, picked up an extra 6.5 thousand, and there's a tournament here, so we're gonna give that a try. We checked to see if there was any new. A Swendron pony. This is not even a noble mount that you could get. I mean, this is a noble mount that you get from the shops. It's no great prize. But look at this. We're fighting up against the hyena and my brother Nason right in the first round. Oof, man, I'm almost out of health. I think I lucked out with my my companions. I mean, not my companions, but my teammates here. Yeah, that's a tier 5 horseman there that's right to my right there, and he saved the day for me. Like, I could not have handled that otherwise. Oh, but he just got smoked by that fiend. I'm gonna try and catch some arrows for my my archer, see if we can't take this guy out at range. He is, I believe that's, I'm not sure, that might be a Falksman, not a veteran, but a regular. And that would mean that he has, yeah, it is. I don't know why I didn't just check his name up in the top right hand corner. But yeah, he's going to have two-handed skills, so pretty intimidated of that. Yes, nice. I had missed catching enough arrows that I was worried that if I didn't get involved more so soon, that I wasn't going to have a teammate to help fight that guy. So it worked out in the end. Yay! Way to go, Skirmisher. We made it to the final round, and we're not fighting a noble. That's why the prize is so low. There's no other nobles here other than myself and my clan members. And we just won our first tournament with a prize of a crummy horse. Well, it's not that crummy. It'll be a an upgrade for my my brother, and then his horse can be an upgrade for Sassel. So good things all around. And besides that, we've redeemed ourselves slightly from the shame of so many tournament losses. And besides that, we've gained EXP, which is the reason why we've been putting ourselves through the torture of losing tournaments on YouTube for the world to see. So now that we're mercenaries, we are at war with Vlandia, and that means that we can attack these peasants, which they're kind of fantastic to fight, because they're larger groups of looters essentially, and they start out standing by their packs and mules and stuff, and they'll just stand there until enough of their guys get killed. So because you get EXP based on hits with your bow at range, like the greater the range, the more EXP you're gonna get, and you get EXP based on the hits and also the kills. So because they don't get activated until enough of them die, I went ahead and hit as many of them once as possible. And then I retreated my archers and then told my horse archers, my companions, to attack, so that they would serve as a distraction while I tried to use up the rest of my arrows on these peasants. They were attacking the peasants with their melee weapons, and I was like, what is going on? Did I accidentally leave their longbows in their kit? Because I had to switch out short bows for them in order to do this strategy, but they were just using their melee weapons. So I was like, what is going on? But I had forgotten that I had them on hold fire at the beginning of the match, or battle, so that we could get as many of the kills for ourselves as possible and as much of the EXP as possible. Now I went ahead and turned up the the fast forward in editing so that it wasn't too bad to watch me plunk at those guys in the distance. A lot of YouTubers will they'll get a mod that makes it so that they can fast forward, but we're doing this without any mods. But I have the power of editing post episode so that you don't have to watch the grueling, slow task that is shooting targets from distance. So now we're trying to force nobles to give us recruits. This is the best way that I will allow for myself to recruit troops. I went ahead and fast forwarded here too, so that we didn't have to wait 15 minutes for these guys to show up within shooting range of my troops. And but yeah, attacking villages is going to be one of the biggest ways for me to swell my warband. I got a few bow shots off, and then as soon as I needed to, I just went and jumped on my horse to try and help with the melees that made it in range. So yeah, we're just gonna keep getting as much athletic skill as we can out of these Vlandian peasants while we're still at war with them, with as we are mercenaries for the Sturgeons, and they're still at war. I particularly like fighting the Vlandians, especially in the villages, to get their peasants, because I like the Vlandian recruits, because I like to turn them all into sharpshooters. I think that that's the best way to do well in the early game. well, the best way to do well in the early game is to recruit Fiends from the Battanian troops, Battanian castle villages, excuse me. Yeah, recruit Fiends and use them, but we're not doing that. We've made some rules for ourselves that make the game a little bit harder. So we're doing the same strategy where we told our clan members to attack from horseback to serve as a distraction, so that we don't have to run and get on our horse and shoot so much. But we're out of ammo, and our horse got bored and is trotting off. I went ahead and dropped my bow and quiver. It's going to make me a lot faster so that I can catch my horse and start working on these peasants. I don't ever bother with recruiting these peasants. Like, as you get prisoners, I never take these guys prisoner, because I don't want to have to recruit them. They're pretty rough to level up. Like, it's hard to get recruits that you force into your warband from attacking villages leveled up to the point where they can use a crossbow, and once they can use a crossbow, then maybe they've got a much better chance of actually making it to being a sharpshooter. But with a peasant, you got to come up 2 ranks before you're ever going to have a bow on them. So yeah, I don't bother with them. A lot of people will they'll take prisoners in order to sell in towns, and I find that to be counterproductive. They sell for so little, and they slow down your map movement speed so much that it's no good. Ooh, look at that. We have a gang alley encounter. We gotta go and defend our gang alley at Legetta. But I'm going to finish what I'm up to here in Vlandia land first. These are not my favorite villages to fight in. You got like some really thick forests and difficult terrains in the Vlandian territory. There are a few villages that are quite nice to fight in, and I hope to show you guys. I absolutely will eventually show you guys what those villages look like eventually. You can see there's some ugly hills and lots of forest, which is difficult. It's difficult for me, and it's difficult for my archers. But it's nice. It's nice that there's a variety in the game. You know, it's not always the same situation that you're going to find yourself in, and you have to be able to learn and adapt and see what you can do to improve your odds given whatever circumstance, you know. So I'm always going to try and get some athletic skill as these peasants, the militia, move up on us. It's pretty hard to manage it. It's hard to okay, so I've found that I like to have my DPI much lower for my mouse when I am trying to use a bow in combat. It's a lot easier to be accurate when your DPI is lower, but when you're used to your DPI being higher, it can be more difficult from horseback with your lance in order to land your shots. It's kind of a bummer. So I am kind of suffering from trying to figure that out, to be sure. Anyway, this has been episode 11 of the Black Lion Origins campaign, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.